Hi, welcome to another video. Yes, I am back with another video. Ain't that crazy? Oh my gosh. Within a year? Oh my god. We are playing we're getting back into the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Whoever killed my boy Sonic. The last video I filmed was like just a few weeks ago, which is miraculous to me because these videos are usually filmed months and months and months apart. But we're just gonna jump back into it. I don't really know what happened last time. I think Sonic got murdered and we're looking around, and I think that the last place that we was on the cart was the saloon. So yeah, we're just gonna hop right back into it. Let's continue. At the saloon, yes. I think we're actually on our way out of the saloon. So, ready to mosey down to the next car? Yes. Onwards! All this stuff's getting heavy. I'll dump what I don't need. Everyone's favorite journalist, reporter, Amy Rose, is hot on the scoop. Girl, you were supposed to be in the saloon with us. I'm heading out. You've been fabulously helpful. Already, before you go, Espinel and I wanted to give you your present. My present? You're both too sweet. Thank you. Vector, it seems we have more guests. Amy, there you are. Have you found any leads yet? Oh, the detective pair needs help from the birthday girl? She knows everyone's allowed to be sassy on their birthday. This tip is just too juicy to ignore. I'll see you all around. Don't worry, Sonic. I'll be the one to avenge you. And quick, but how are you gonna leave? The door to the next car is locked. Oh, you doubt the birthday girl? The birthday girl has a master key. Right. The birthday girl gets the birthday key. Of course, it's a party privilege. I'll solve this case before anyone else. Bye! Amy may be hasty, but she's thorough. Now, what are you two doing? Looking mighty suspicious, I say. I'm the detective, so I can't be the murderer. And I'm an employee, thank you very much. Here to ask if anyone's just making sure things go well. Things aren't going great. Not sure if you've forgotten, but there was a murder. Well, I mean, besides that. Besides murder, my social skills, non-existent. I'm Vector the Butcher. I'm licensed to handle raw meat. And I'm Espen the Poet. Poetry. The resonant message from poet to reader means to challenge our delicate perspectives with the most rhythmic of prose. Can I hear some? Sure. Teardrops in the spring. Can you hear me sing? La la la, dee 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 dee. Was that it? I have more if you like. Cherry blossoms in the spring. I'm satisfied for now, thanks. At least he's rhyming, I suppose. Kay and I are here to establish both of your alibis. Can you walk us through what happened after Amy had everyone leave the dining car? Oh sure, it was simple. We just explained this to Amy actually. When we were all sent, Rogue, Blaze, and Shadow and Sonic all passed through this library card, where Amy told me and Espino to stay. I promptly picked a book off the shelf and made myself comfortable. Vector got bored, so he left to see what Knuckles was up to in the saloon car. Where was Rogue? We happened to see her lipstick stain on a cup at the saloon car. Rogue came over to the library car seemingly looking for something. Then she went to search the saloon car. She came back shortly after. We heard her shout, "No way!" at the brochure stand over there. But she left back to the casino car before Shadow came through and locked the door. She's obviously been on the hunt for something. After Rogue left, Shadow walked through the casino car. Then we entered the library and locked the door behind him. More importantly, why has Shadow been locking doors? Shadow walked through the library car to the saloon where Knuckles and I were playing games. He insisted on showing us up in Super Monkey Ball. I know what that game is because I saw Jaden from Jaden Animations. I saw her, I think, try to speed run it with her friends or something. Like a friend challenged her to speed run it or something like that. but I do know what that game is. I got so engrossed by the rolling monkey action I hardly noticed when Shadow left the saloon car. I guess he walked through the library to the casino car again, locking the door behind him. Then returned to the lounge car where he was meant to be stationed. When Vector came back, we realized Knuckles locked the door to the saloon car. We were stuck in the library car. That's when the train sped up. We were worried about the bookshelves falling on us, but we got through it alright. We sat trapped here until Amy arrived asking us questions. She's the one that told us someone murdered Sonic. And yeah, that's all that happened. When all these doors locked, it seemed Vector and Espino couldn't. I think I'm gonna just call him S. With all these locked doors, it seemed Vector and S have left the library car or the saloon car. Thank you both for your cooperation. We're just gonna peek around and we'll return with any questions. If you return with any meat, I'll chop it up for you. And if you'd like to be serenaded with a poem, I got you covered too. Thanks, guys. Their alibi seems solid enough, but we should still search for clues. What we're looking for is any evidence that proves that what we're saying is true. We need to confirm Vector's reason for leaving his post and determine if S was actually in the library car reading. A tall task, but we can do it. Let's get to the bottom of this. Absolutely! Okay, let's start right here. Wow, I wish I could stop and look at all these books. But Sonic needs me. No time to rest. Sorry. Alright, let's move on then. Well, I mean, a little peek wouldn't hurt. He scavenged through all the book titles excitedly. He's like a kid in a candy shop, or in this case, a genius in a trained library. That's odd. I know some books have fallen out on the floor and everything, but every book on these shelves alphabetical order, but this one. It's the user's guide to the Mirage Express, the train we're currently on. Do you think someone found it on the ground and put it back? Maybe, but it is interesting. Let's make a note of this. Mirage Express manual is added to your inventory. What's this bright red book? Oh, yuck. This reeks of evil scientist Dr. Eggman. Yep, this is Dr. Eggman's autobiography and recipe book. What kind of recipes? Egg recipes? Duh. Who cares? I wouldn't trust any book he's written. It's weird this is even here. Maybe people just appreciate an omelet. You may not be wrong. Fancy a poem? I love space, so can I get a poem about space? I've made it up to space, but my beloved antique vase. With my beloved antique vase, but a mistake. In my haste, dropped the vase on my embrace. So my antique I must now replace. Okay. What caused you to drop the vase? Don't read too deeply, it's just a poem. He hasn't thought it through, has he? I have a poem about this. My starved stomach babbles, through I ignore the grumbling tummies, for the eggs I receive are scrambled when I ask for my egg sunny. Oh wow, we don't serve any eggs on the train though. My talent is wasted on you lot. A globe of a marvelous planet. I haven't traveled so much. The islands are fun and all, but I'd love to visit some of the countries. They're a lot of fun, honestly. Plenty of wonderful peoples and shops. The food can't be beat either. It sounds perfect for a vacation. The conductor was talking about Spagonia, if you've ever been there. I have actually. If you're ever visiting, be sure to stop at the university and say hi to Professor Pickle. I'm not doing that. He'll tell you everything about the area and make one scrumptious sandwich. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. This group knows everyone and has been everywhere, haven't they? Trash can. It's always good to look in there. Something's always hidden in the trash. Let's check there. I hate to say it, but there's nothing here. I really thought there'd be something there. Kay, are you sad there was nothing in the trash bin? No, I'm alright. I'm sure there'll be something hidden in the next trash bin we find. You really think so? Yeah. We just gotta stay optimistic. Yeah, okay. These trash bins hide a secret, I'm sure of it. Okay, you're pretty unconventional, but I like that. Oh, is that supposed to be a compliment? Let's just take a pause and sit for a second. These chairs are very comfy, so plush, puts me right in the mood to read. Makes me want to take a nap personally. In fact, maybe I'll rest my eyes for a little bit. Kay, no, don't fall asleep. There's been a murder, remember? If I had a ring for every time a murder ruined my nap time. So many books on the ground, I wish we had time to pick them all up. I sadly have no interest in picking up these books. A lot of these were knocked out by the train speeding up. But Rogue pulled a lot of these out too, searching for something. Information, perhaps? What reckless behavior. I feel sorry for the poor books. The spines are creasing. They're opening too far. This kid feels empathetic for everything. Oh, poor thing. That arm is really struggling cleaning up this car. To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up this mess either. Let's just leave it alone to do its thing. Yeah, probably for the best. Did you bring me any meat to chop? I may be a butcher, but they confiscated my meat cleaver before getting on the train. You actually try to bring a knife on a train? I'm a man of authenticity tales. Without a knife, I'm just a chef in a ketchup-stained apron, not a butcher. I think if you had a knife on you, we'd definitely think you were the murderer. What if I hid the knife? You know, I'm not the biggest fan of this line of thought. Take a order. Oh, yes, please. I'm starved. Actually, I'm off duty at the moment. The murder is more important. Why would you give me that option then? Then why would you show the menu to me? Come on, Kay. Why would you tease him like that? And here I thought I could trust you. You've made a fool of me. Look, Kay. You made him a fool. Come on, Kay. Smooth this over. No, I'm the fool. Yeah. I smooth things over, but at what cost? A child hangs preciously from the tree branch. The large text box below reads, "Hang in there." Wow, I really needed to see this. This little child's... That is Chow, right? This little child's hanging there, refusing to use his wings to fly to safety because he's choosing the hard way is often the most rewarding. That's beautiful. If this child can stick to his principles and find strength, then I can too. There's no way there was that much thought put into this poster, right? Ooh, brochure! There are travel destination ideas like amusement parks, caverns, hotels, restaurants. Oh, okay, look at this. There's a couple of maps here. These seem to be a map to the library card. The books are categorized by genre, which are listed here. I love a good overhead map. Let's take it. Library map is added to your inventory. Should we take this brochure to a cave too? Nah, leave it. Oh, haha, yeah, that's fair. Nobody shares my fondness for caves. Shadow supposedly walked through the library car before going into the saloon car. When Shadow left the library car, he locked this door on his way out. There's gotta be a reason for him doing this. Should we make a note of it? Yeah, I do believe we should. Shadow lock is added to your inventory. I think we've found enough clues. Let's go interrogate Vector in this video and find out what really happened. I'm falling asleep. I am so sorry. I'll have to be back. Like later. I'm back. Just had to take me a little nappity nap. So we was gonna interrogate them before we left. Did you bring me any meat to chop? Start interrogation. So the two of you don't believe us, eh? It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Kay and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play games with Knuckles and if S really was reading in the library car. Vector, we'll start with you. Why did you leave the library car to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to present evidence if need. Oh, that's easy. I got bored. What? I wasn't entertaining him enough, it seems. Vector enjoys being social. Plus, we were instructed to mingle. I remember the arcade machine in the saloon car, so I figured I'd go check it out. This seems to line up with the information we gathered with Knuckles. Okay. Then that brings our attention to you, S. Rogue entered the library car, found something, then left. You said you immediately started reading, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library car? Of course I was. It said of course he was. Okay. Once S started reading, he doesn't stop till it's done. I've seen it happen. It must have been a good read. What was the book? It was that book by the fucking Eggman, wasn't it? S doesn't owe you that, detective. Let that man live. What if it was embarrassing? What kind of things do you think I read? If you won't talk, I have a hunch on what the book might be. Kay, could you help me out? Alright, Kay, what book do you think S may have been reading? The book I fucking collected. This one. A manual? Do you think S was reading instructions? What argument could you possibly have to support this? Uh-oh. There are books scattered around the floor, sure, but the remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order. All except this manual, meaning someone at the very least picked the manual up and put it back in the incorrect place. This lack of attention to detail isn't normally like you, S. Hey now, I won't have you insulting my pal like this. Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself. Apologies, S. A book share and a poet friendship can form anywhere. That is indeed the book I was reading, the Marriage Express manual. Trains are cool. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual, okay, if you don't mind. Could you ask us some questions about... Oh, I didn't read the rest of that. Oh, I see. Quiz Espo about the manual to prove you just read it. Which page should I quiz him on? He wouldn't have made it that far, but... I don't know what's on these fucking pages. I'm gonna do this. Okay, what efficient and extremely accurate technology was installed to assist in keeping the train spotless? The arm, right, yeah. The robotic arm. During events, they can perform a variety of tasks and are responsible for cleaning trash and messes afterwards. I remember the conductor saying the train can clean itself. Though I have a feeling the train company just didn't want to hire any janitors. It's a liability, I guess. The robotic arm can also detect weapons or explosives being brought onto the train, ensuring passenger safety. Seems like it's an ace that quiz. Okay, hit him with another one. Okay. What is the Mirage Express's cancellation policy? No free refunds, no refunds, and you will be charged with a no-show fee. This does not apply if you're over the age of 65. Gee, that person who made that rule must have been over 65. Last one, K. Let's see if S can go 3 for 3. Gotcha, which page should I pick? Low number. What was implemented to support the conductor's duties and ease general train obligations? An intelligent data processing system. It works in tandem with the conductor to assure smooth travel for guests. I remember this train has an autopilot, but it can't be accessed its full suite of capabilities without the conductor present. Did I pass your little test? Yeah. Totally. It's wow, you were able to retain all that information so quickly. A poet's brain is often surprising. I don't know if I'd be bragging about that. You've clearly read the manual. Those answers feel far too specific to be guesses. And you both had the nerve to question my buddy like that? Don't we want to be supporting folks who read? You have to admit though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if true. But he answered all my questions so calmly, that's very impressive. No, I understand everyone's cautious attitudes. Vector was the one to see me reading after all. My alibi is hard to sustain despite being the truth. Well, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we can't. Is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading? Yes, that's correct. Problem? Frankly, I don't believe that can be true, and we have evidence to back it up. Okay? He always puts me on the spot. Okay, think. We should have a piece of evidence linked to someone who also saw us reading Shadow. Shadow's locked? Please pray tell what this has to do with anything. We're up, Kay. Let's get our argument together. Okay, Shadow walked through the library car to get to the saloon car, where he set the original high score on the arcade machine. Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't the high score long. Crocs are natural gamers. S said he saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentions that Vector came back. Shadow left Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car. S was fully seated reading his book for a good while at this point. We know Shadow had to walk back through the library car when he left the saloon car. So there's absolutely no way Shadow and S didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip. I mean, it was a simple slip up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow. You're telling me the sound of doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up? Well, you see, I can sense as desperation here. Defending the argument that he was reading the entire time isn't easy. So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock all the doors, then at that moment, were you really in the library car at all? But how would S believe Shadow locked all the doors and no one saw a Spino in the saloon car? It's a mystery, my dear Kay, one that I would love for S to solve. You gotta believe me. That cool demeanor is vanishing. I was so involved with my book, I didn't notice Shadow pass back through the library car, honestly. When Vector returned, he even had to tap me on the shoulder to get my attention. Yeah, I think I remember doing that. I must avenge my friend's death, so I'll ask you again, S. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car? I didn't. Why doesn't this seem right to me? Tails definitely feels like he's on something, but I don't see it. Was S simply reading, or did he somehow vanish to not notice Shadow to return to the library car? What should I do? It doesn't make sense on why he didn't see Shadow, meaning he wasn't in the car. That's exactly what that means. Like you didn't see him in the car, he wasn't in the car. Shadow didn't return. So, one, either Shadow has a secret pathway that he's been taking because his role is the killer, or he wasn't in the car, which I don't really know. I don't really know what I should do, but I think I'm gonna defend S just to see if I could try to get another possibility. I'm fearing that I should have clicked on the door before I started investigating. I have to make sure our guests are taken care of. I have to speak up. Tails, we have a piece of evidence that can answer all of our problems. Alright, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and S couldn't have seen one another? It gotta be the map. Alright, now let's get my thoughts in order. The library map. Oh, I see. See the exits? They're right across from one another, a straight path. If Shadow walked down this straight path, there's a way Espo and Shadow couldn't have seen one another. Looks like you have to point out where exactly on the map you mean. Where could Espen have been for Shadow to not see him? Right here. Interesting. That's where I was sitting reading my book. Boy, Alibi, be for real. Be so for real. I can second this. I returned from the saloon car. Espen was in the same spot. That confirmed it then. You see, Shadow and Esp couldn't have seen one another from this spot because the bookcase is in the way. There's no way Shadow could have seen Esp or vice versa. It makes a lot of sense why you never mentioned Shadow's return, Espo. There's just no way you would have seen him. I apologize for losing my cool back there. I felt like I was grasping despite telling the truth. But I'm glad you all believe me now. Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further point. Thank you both for answering all our questions. We did it. Another pair of alibis validated. Too many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything straightened itself out in the end. Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy. Likewise, I could use a breather. Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rogue, and especially Shadow. Oh, it seems the door to the next car is open. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier. Then that's our cue to leave. See you later, Vector and S. Yeah, it's still just S. Give him heck, and if you need any meat chopped, say the word. I'll keep my poetry sharp for you both. A murderer is on the loose while the doors keep getting locked. Tick-tock, tick-tick-tock goes the clock while our heroes are in the caboose. What? At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this. Come on, Kay. Let's see what's next. Coming. Hey, I forgot to film an outro, so, I don't really know what to say because I already know what's gonna happen next because I already filmed it. So, anyways, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.